Squids, the time has come. The bike is finally back after a long 2 weeks of not being on the channel. And in this video, I'm going to reveal to you guys why it was gone. I'm going to reveal to you guys what it looks like and what got done to it. So without further ado, before I show you guys what this bike looks like, spoiler alert, it looks the best that the bike has ever been since I've had it. I need to tell you guys what was wrong and what I got done to it. So first thing, a lot of you guys are going to know this one. If you've been following the channel for the last few months, probably since the beginning of the year, you guys will have known that I dropped the bike on a palm tree and I wasn't even riding. I was literally just walking it back to where I park it on the side of my house. And long story short, there's a little drop. It's like half the height of a sidewalk. It goes into some dirt and wood chips. Anyways, I lost my balance. The bike tipped too far over to the right as I was walking it over. I was on the left side. The bike falls over on the palm tree and it gave me a nice big dent right here. I'll put a picture up on screen for you guys so you can see it. But I kept that dent in the tank for a good 3-4 months. And it's nice to have finally fixed it because the bike looks so much better just with that one thing. There's a lot of things that got done, but just that one thing was a game changer. That really changed the whole look of the bike. So next up, there was the plastic piece right under it. That's just because I squeezed the tank so hard when I ride and the tank was deformed. So as I was squeezing on the tank and probably on that plastic piece that goes under it, the tank wasn't sitting properly, so I was putting way more pressure on it than it normally had. So that eventually cracked and then flew off on the freeway, never to be seen again. Now, coming down from the tank, we'll talk about just the fairings in general on the bike. So before I even get into what specific fairing, basically the previous owner had probably the worst clips and lack of on the bike. So the bike was barely holding on to the fairings as is, but when I dropped the bike on the palm tree, I think that it might have touched one of the top fairings as well. So after a ride, we'll say I was doing a nice cruising speed down the freeway. I got to my destination, I looked back at my bike and that piece wasn't there. I'll put a little video up on screen so you guys can see what that looks like. So we're now down one tank, the plastic piece on the side, the top piece of the side fairing, and there's still more to go. So next up on the list, continuing with the fairings, was the fact that the headers on this bike are so wide. They're aftermarket headers. This bike has no cats and is essentially just a straight pipe from the headers back. So because they're so wide, the fairings don't accommodate these aftermarket headers that I have on the bike. So it was just melting the fairings slowly and it was burning through more and more of the fairing. I don't think it was an issue in terms of it causing a fire, but it was still messing up fitment just because it was burning the fairing in a whole bunch of the wrong spots. And I just didn't want to have that in the back of my mind. I didn't want the potential that it ends up burning more of the fairings and catching on fire. I don't think that's a big possibility, but it's better to just have nice fairings where they're actually spaced correctly, which we did eventually fix. Now the color I went with on the new fairing, you guys can see a little bit of it. And you guys are gonna say, Squid, why are you saying you changed the fairings? They're black, it was already black before. Yes, that is correct, it's black, but there's a huge difference. The previous fairings were matte black, this, gloss black. Super big difference. If you don't agree with me, find me in the comments. Now, next up on the list was chain. I know the chain is a pretty basic thing, but when it comes to chain maintenance, I'm the worst possible person you know about chain maintenance. I don't think I lubed that chain that I had more than twice. So over time, what happens is you start to get tight spots and loose spots in the chain, and it makes your ride really inconsistent and the power delivery will not be smooth at all. So the biggest thing I noticed once I got the new chain was just how smooth the bike felt. Shift smoother, the power is way smoother, everything about it was just better. Now lastly, this thing normally is not that big of a deal on its own, but I think just the fact that I got it with the bike, getting the new chain, the tank together, the new fairings, was really just the cherry on top, but it was a new rear tire. The tire I had previously was basically running on cords. There was nothing left, so the ride was super harsh and super sketchy to ride on. So without further ado, let's show you guys how nicely this bike came together. Like I said before, this is the best the bike has ever been since I've owned it.
Il la voit partout, il attend debout, une rose à la main, à réparer les mains.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that, and hopefully you guys enjoy the bike as much as I do. I'm so pleased with how it came out. It honestly looks like a brand new bike, which is crazy because I've never seen the bike so put together since I've had it. There's really not anything wrong with it anymore. Nothing that I can think of. And it's crazy just seeing everything put together. Completely perfect. One thing I forgot to mention that also broke off the fairings. It was actually perfect timing. The bike was already set up to leave for the shop and get fixed, but 2 days before, my mirror broke off. I don't know if you guys remember, but I actually had the mirrors drilled into the fairings right here, which isn't really common. I couldn't find a way to mount the stealth mirrors like I do now. I did a lot more research this time trying to find mounts that I didn't have to drill into the fairings just because I don't want to mess these up because they're so perfect. But long story short, a friend walked into the mirror 2 days before and just ripped off this part of the fairing. So that's another thing that was wrong with the fairings. And I'm super glad I went with the gloss black. I know it's gonna show dirt way more easily than the matte black I had, but honestly, it's worth it. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the bike, if you guys enjoyed watching the video, go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, tell me if you like the color, tell me if you absolutely hate the color, tell me what you would have done, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. I'll catch you guys in the next one.